Hey everyone. Today's vlog is going to be, or my personal vlog, I guess I should say, is going to be how, just how school went for me and how, just my personal experience really. Unlike most kids, I actually loved school. I loved almost every single day of it. And I mean, if I was throwing up, I would say, I still want to go, I'm not sick. And if I was throwing up at school, I'll say, don't send me home, I'm still fine, and etc., etc. I absolutely loved it. I don't know what it was about it, but I just liked it. So, anyways, let's start. Preschool. That went really well. Actually, it went great. I met my best friend I still talk to today. I talk to him on the phone about once a day, and we always check in with each other, what's going on, etc., etc. How I met him was I noticed a lot of the kids were being mean to him, and he was kind of hiding in the corner. So I went over, talked to him, friendly, and me and him just kind of had a connection right then and there. And ever since then, we kind of hung out with each other, gone to each other's houses, sleepovers, and etc., etc. It was just meant to be. I also got a nickname in preschool. It was called the Weatherman. Everyone called me the Weatherman because I watched the Weather Channel so much, I was able to memorize the weather for like whatever the forecast was at the time. It might have been 7 days, maybe. I don't recall, but sometimes I even had it down to hourly. I mean, it'll be like, it's going to be sunny, but then it's going to cloud up and rain. So, that was cool. All the students and the teachers in that class were just, I was the go-to person. And I also got another nickname. I went in there with the name James. That's my legal name. But one of the teachers gave me a nickname Jamie. And I was like, hey, I like that name better. And everyone called me that ever since, all the way until now. I didn't go by James until I started working at Safeway when they messed up on my name tag and it said James. So, then when everyone started calling me that, I was like, hey, I kind of like that name, a little bit better now. So, anyways, kindergarten was not so fun. The teacher was mean to me, and it seemed like she was mean to only me. I mean, she would do stuff like, she knew I was having trouble reading at the time. So she would go and every single time she'll go and say, Jamie, hand me a red crayon or a whatever crayon. I was like, well, I don't know how to read that. So I would give her what looked like a red crayon. She'll say, oh, no, that's violet or whatever it was. And then she'll go and announce to the whole class and totally embarrass me. And she did that all the time. I mean, she must have got some enjoyment out of it. And my friend, he didn't really talk to her at all. He may have never spoke a single word to her. So I suspect she was doing similar stuff to him too. A funny little story, kind of off subject, but my friend actually called this teacher. I don't know, he looked up her name in the phone book, or somehow he got her phone number, and he called her up and just had a conversation with her. And this was a couple years ago, and then the next day she died. So I don't know if she died of shock or whatever. It's kind of a coincidence, but anyways, now first grade. Well, that was a lot better. I don't really recall a lot for elementary school. I think it was kind of neutral from first grade all the way till third. Fourth grade, I remember the teacher was kind of she was kind of a dick, I guess. Best way to describe it. Fifth grade was really cool. I had Mr. Thomas, and we went on a bunch of cool field trips, or a couple of them. We went on a pirate ship. That was really awesome. That was just That was really cool. And I remember we got to sit on a net right above the ocean. It was kind of scary, but it was definitely cool. We also got to go on a field trip to the courthouse, and I was originally supposed to sit in the audience, but for some reason the kid that was supposed to be on the one of the kids in the jury didn't come in that day, called out sick or whatever, and the teacher said, "Okay, Jamie, you could be on the jury." I was like, "Oh, sweet," and that was fun. That really, really was fun. I'll never forget it. And also, well, this wasn't really a field trip, but it was more of a class trip, end of the year class trip. So I got my dad to drive, and I remember I begged my dad. I said, "Please bring your car. Bring your car." His car at the time was the '67 Mercedes that I have now. That, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be fixing. Parts are too rare, and just parts are too expensive. It's a Mercedes, so. But anyways, getting back on the subject, I begged him, and he said, "Oh no, it's unreliable, and I don't want it to break down the field trip. That'll be embarrassing," and so on and so on. And then well, at the time the car was in the shop every week, so it was like kind of an end of conversation. But the funny thing is, my mom and dad didn't communicate with each other about what days they needed to use my mom's car for the field trip. And I remember I walked out, and my dad says, "Do you see the car?" I was like, "You brought it! You brought it!" That was so fun. All the kids in the car thought my dad's car was great, and my dad washed it and everything before the trip, and he cleaned it all out, and oh, I just will never forget that. And one kid liked it more in particular. He says, "Oh, what engine does it have? This, and that." He really liked it, and I really liked that car too. But now sixth grade, not really a whole lot happened. Only thing I remember really is that I heard all these stories about the teacher's a witch, and she was nice to me. So, and I know theft was a big problem in the class. They had a cabinet with a padlock on it, but other than that, I don't really remember a whole lot. Well, I guess no news is good news. And seventh grade. This was probably the most interesting year out of all of them. First year at junior high. Well, sorry, I'm distracted. I would come home almost every day crying. Everyone in the office was mean. The teachers were mean. The kids that came from my school, I funneled into that school, were nice. And the kids that came from the center school, we call SLB, were nice. But the kids that came from the center school, I'm not going to name, like a good quarter to half of them, probably closer to a quarter, they just had a serious attitude. They just all wanted to fight. I don't know if they just wanted to fight with me or with everyone, but I got into a huge fight with them, with one of them. The other ones was just disagreements. I mean, nothing major, just people stuff. But yeah, I got in this one fight with this kid named Nick, and I literally went to the thrift store the day before. I'd like to go during half price days. I got this hat that said UPS. I got to go with this hat, coincidentally, to go with my collection. And he had the nerve, and he pulled the hat off my head, and he threw it up on the roof. And I was like, it wasn't even. I think this was during break, not even lunchtime yet, and he had the nerve to go do that. And this is the only thing he did. He was always out there throwing stuff at me and just a little troublemaker. So this really got me going, and that's just the last straw. So I went and I charged him. I knocked him down on the ground, and I went just beating the crap out of him. And I really went to town with him, and he actually left in an ambulance. I didn't. He actually had a heart condition that I didn't know about at the time, but and yeah, I got Saturday school for it, and I never did get that hat back, which sucks because it was a nice UPS hat. I would love to have, especially now with my hat collection. That's all from my former job. I just haven't taken them down yet. All my Safeway hats. So, anyways, he kind of left me alone after that. I kind of knew I was capable of kicking his butt. And every teacher, like I said, was a total jerk. I had this one teacher named Mrs. Branch, and she was just an absolute nightmare. Every time I was in her class, I'll be standing outside. And then she had the nerve to bring it up a notch and said when I was standing outside, I was out there vandalizing the door, writing gang signs on the door, and just with pins. And so she made it so I couldn't have pins with me or anything sharp. Well, the marks still kept appearing. I was like, I don't even have weapons to do it with. How am I still doing it? So, yeah, I had lunchtime detention almost on a daily basis because of her. And if anyone tries to stand up for me, they'll get lunchtime detention too. And lunchtime detention means you have spent half your lunch in detention. So, anyways, I had Mr. Ringen, so he was like the only cool teacher I had. Yeah, he was really cool. He'll let me joke around with him, and then he'd let me joke around with him, and then he would, let me joke around with, certain things that he wouldn't let other kids joke around with him with. Like, I'm not even going to say, and I don't probably remember anyways, but if anyone else tried to joke around with some stuff I said, they would have to go run laps, and I didn't have to do it. So, he quit from last I heard, but I do miss him. Anyways, moving on to 8th grade, which was a lot better. I had another teacher named Miss Cheryl Martin, or Miss Martin, I guess I would call her. Really good teacher, and real patient, and really knows her stuff, and I think she's probably the best teacher I ever had, to be truthful, because she was just so on top of it. And something happened to this Nick kid, so he was out of the picture, so that made stuff a lot better. And I had Mr. Ringens again, and I had various other teachers, nothing really negative to say about them. I had a Photoshop teacher, or photography I guess it's called. And I guess he always claimed he had an addiction to photo developer because he liked to drink it. So, and there's more of them, I just can't think of it. Pre-rehearsed, everyone. I'm pre-rehearsed. So, that was the end of 8th grade. The principal, dating back to 7th grade. Yeah, that one teacher I was talking about, she always sent me to the principal too. And the principal, it's kind of funny because the principal is like real laid back, and she'll talk to me about, oh, is that a new hat? Is that a new coat? Are those new shoes? We'll talk about the wind and whatever else. And at the end, we'll do this like 20 minutes, and at the end she'll say, oh yeah, don't do that again. Never, no punishments, just, have a nice day. Now moving on to 9th grade. Well, that went pretty well. I mean, of course it was hard going to a new school again, new school again. And PE was my favorite subject, if you couldn't tell already. I had Mr. Grillman. He was a real, I don't know if I want to call him a hard ass or just a total dick in general, probably somewhere in between. He was he was hard, and he also taught a health class, this is 4th grade was PE, and in the health class was 6th period. And if he had a problem with how someone was performing in his health class, he would go and bring it up in the PE class and announce to the whole class, Tyler has crappy grades. Tyler keeps cutting my class. If I see you in this class, I know you're here. If you're not in my next class, I know you're cutting. And so on and so on. Just saying stuff he really shouldn't say. And he just had a way of making me feel horrible. So that's how that went. I had one teacher, she was named Vicky. I really liked her. She actually went to one of my friend's birthday parties once. I don't know how that worked out, but it did. And, it's kind of funny seeing a teacher at your house, And I don't really recall much else happening. No field trips, or at least none good ones. I got perfect attendance that year, and I got perfect attendance my 8th grade year too. And of course, my 7th grade year, there's so much school, I almost had to stay back a year. Oh, would have that been horrible. Anyways, my 10th grade year, I got perfect attendance that year, although I was in Oregon for a week visiting my dying grandma up there. So I don't really know how I got perfect attendance, but they still gave me the award. Nothing really happened. I worked in the cafe my 9th grade year, my 10th grade year, my 11th. And I had Miss Keel's class that year. And she's probably my favorite PE teacher. She did what the kids wanted, the activities kids want. She didn't do stuff to make people miserable. I really liked her. And even when I was up at the junior high, after we got done changing and all that, I used to go talk to her in her office, just chit chat. I really liked, just a really cool person. So, and that's about it for 10th grade, at least all I can remember. The people in the office were nicer, the teachers were nice, and I never really talked to the principal. I stayed out of trouble that year, or in high school in general. 11th grade, got perfect attendance that year too. It was the first year I was a TA. I TA'd in the library, which, that was cool. Checking out books, and I don't recall if I was putting books into the system or not. I know I wasn't distressing them. I might put some into the system. And I was supposed to be in typing, like speed typing, but for some reason my schedule got messed up, and they put me in some other class that I really didn't like. I don't recall what it was. And then I got put in aquaculture too. I just went totally past aquaculture 1 because I'm just, I'm cooler than that. And I met Mr. Umstead, and he actually helped me out with a lot of job training stuff on his own personal time, and he just went the extra mile for me. I got a couple of job recommendations from him because I did do that summer job for him for 6 years, and but other than that, there's nothing else really happened. And of course 12th grade, and I did teen again in the library, but 2 weeks after school started, the library burned down. The librarian at the time, she was like, there are 2 of us, 2 TAs, so she let me and this other girl go sneak into the library and look at it, look at the fire damage, and that was cool. I got to help set up the new library, which is in one of those portable trailers. At the time when I built this other fancier one, that they're going to have the high school library at the bottom and the junior high one up top. And that was cool, but the aquaculture class was really cool. So, but other than that, I didn't really do much for 12th grade, other than just I have 5 classes, 5 out of 6 classes. Seniors only need to have 5 classes. They're allowed to have a blank period. And that's about it. I did a little bit of college, community college, but I only did a semester or two. I took a computer class, and I thought it was just basic stuff, like stuff I already knew, and I sure learned a lot, but sure had a lot of homework, and I struggled with that. And on top of that, I thought I could handle a bunch of classes, and I just couldn't. Just not enough hours in a day for me to do them all. And that's about it. I'm sorry about all these awkward pauses. I'm just trying to think. So that's pretty much about it. Just interesting little video. At least it's interesting for me. So I'll talk to everyone later.